We're about to start. Thank you so much for joining this live. I'm setting all these devices to start. Just hang on. YouTube started, Instagram started, and TikTok is ready to go. So, as usual, today is Thursday, 5 p.m., right? And then we're here to discuss U.S. immigration topics. Today's topic is marriage green card case, but recently, even though we had a defined topic, I'll be answering, your questions when it comes to your, comments from TikTok, YouTube, uh, and then Instagram. So uh, we have some clients joining this live stream, and then if you're joining from TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, you'll be able to post the questions, comments. I'll be able to answer some of them. But if you join from Instagram, LinkedIn, or Facebook, then you will be able to just watch me. But our usual viewers like Archida Jr. Also joining this live stream. I have a usual viewers from TikTok also joining. And then I mentioned that, yes, Ashutosh, yes, we submitted your case in February and you just got work permit. So we'll see, how fast they're going to schedule interview. And Archida, you file your 129F petition. She's not our client, by the way, because she's a regular guest. November of last year, went to California Service Center. Your case is 6 months now. Any good news? Just share any news with us. So I'm gonna see whether we're seeing any question from TikTok. So thank you so much for joining all these meetings. Now let me drink some water, and then we're starting now. Just a little bit slow, but we're starting now. So I'm attorney Jae Francis. I'm a U.S. immigration lawyer. We're based in Chicago and Wisconsin, Madison, Wisconsin, and then we serve all 50 states. Now, I do this live stream every Thursday, 5 p.m., as long as I'm not really sick or out of office. So this is our usual channel. Yes, I mean, Ashutosh, thank you so much saying Ashutosh is our client that we filed, February marriage green card case and the biometrics March, and then EAD approved in April, right? We have seen faster EAD processing, but nothing personal, but 30-day EAD processing is gone. We're talking 60 to 90 days. But Ashutosh, you're on the right path for next step, which is usually interview, because unofficially, oh yes, okay, Junior, I see, I see. No, you use different name. Like when you join the social media with a different nickname, I'm not able to match, your name and then your, screen name. But I know that 9:30 tomorrow, Central Time. Okay, Central Time tomorrow. I'll talk to you. I'm sorry that we miss our previous meeting, but we reschedule, and I'll talk to you Friday tomorrow, 9:30 Central Time. But having said that, let me see whether we have any questions. Okay. Candice asked the question about A64 affidavit of support, right? So sorry, she asked, what is the minimum income that U.S. citizen or permanent resident spouse must make? Depends on size of your family. So what you need to figure out is that like you need to see which person that your U.S. citizen or permanent resident A64 sponsor report. So if your sponsor is a single, then you'll be added. So household size of 2, and then you go onto website, Google up, and type up A64P, P as in Paul, and then your household size of 2. So usually 27K So when I say 27K for household size of 2, we're talking about one most recent tax return, which is a 2024. Total income in that 2024 tax return must be higher than 27K. Actual number is lower than 27K, but I usually go with a 27K, a little bit higher number. Also, your spouse income, current income right now must be higher than 27K if household size is 2. Thank you so much. Okay, so thank you so much for the good questions. I remember that last Thursday we had lots of good questions, and then that makes me really exciting. Those of you who know me, I taught American history for 22 years. So I stopped teaching because this is it was very difficult to juggle, being professor and attorney, and then I do immigration work only. But this is a way for me to sort of bring back good memory as a professor and answering some of the questions. So thank you so much for compliments. Of course, I enjoy answering some of your questions and then meeting you as well. So for those of you who see me for the first time, I use iPad to review TikTok comments, and I use hands for scroll down. Okay. Good. So Oscar Flores. Okay, so looks like Oscar, you have marriage green card case, right? And then your I-130 is approved. So and then you're going through 601 misrepresentation. I wonder whether it was in the context of request evidence or notice of intent to deny. Probably request for evidence. You have 87 days. And how long does it take? Because on top of marriage green card case, Oscar needs to go through 601 misrepresentation. If you need attorney, let us know. But if you already submitted your response, adjustment of the status based 601 processing time is fast. I would say less than 6. Like usually I say 3 to 6 months. But one of the recent 601 misrepresentation waiver based upon marriage base, it was approved less than a week. So super fast, but case by case. Okay. Now, since I'm gonna talk to you, your screen name is Junior, so I'm gonna call you Junior. Then we'll talk about this tomorrow. Okay. So, but I'll just answer a little bit. So if you look at A64 form, right, affidavit of support, there's a section asking you to list 3 most income figures, right? So you just type up the name and type up the income figure. But in terms of actual tax return, you just need to submit one, which is most recent tax return. So for example, if you file 2024 tax return, your sponsor, right, then you submit 2024. But if your sponsor timely filed extension, it means that usually you file tax return April or with the extension up to October, then you can go with a 2023 tax return and 2024 extension. So either. Okay. Damba 369. So looks like you have marriage-based green card case. So then completed biometrics recently, and then when you check either USCIS processing time online, or you more likely that's the case. But there's another way. You can check the status, which is your My USCIS account. I will tell you this. Okay. I wouldn't follow either USCIS case processing time online or what's posted into your My USCIS account, because they're not accurate. So when according to sorry, Danbei, it said that 45 based upon his location is up to 30 month. Partially true. Some cases take long, but doesn't mean that your case will take 30 months. So I wouldn't really follow that. If you have an attorney, talk to your attorney. When our clients ask how long cases take now, then we tell accordingly, because we base upon how our cases actually take to get approval. So, but good question. Okay, USCIS. What is the procedure to marry the immigrant who came here illegally, has no formal paper? Obviously, in America, you can get married to, I don't know whether this is related to civil marriage only or immigration as well. So I will tell you this. In Wisconsin, right, when you get married, when you apply for marriage license to get married legally, then they will be asking some paperwork, some of them demanding. So if you don't have any paperwork whatsoever, you don't have a passport, you don't have a birth certificate, and then just you are here, then sometimes it can be difficult to get married, USRA. So what we did in the past is that we look at other state like Illinois, right? And then, but Illinois still you need a form of paper like passport. So you need to look it up which state doesn't require any paperwork to get married. But you wonder whether any state will allow you to get married without any government issue paper. So it's a challenging. So maybe perhaps your future spouse may contact consulate. For example, if your spouse, I'm just making up, from Mexico, then contact Mexican consulate in Chicago and apply for passport. You can do it. You may do it, but probably need to get birth certificate mail from Mexico. But that's important. Okay, just I'm gonna drink some water. Okay, so Ashutosh, our client, he asks good questions all the time. So recently, USCIS and Social Security say that, well, when we approve your 765 EAD, we're not going to mail you a Social Security card automatically. If you like to get a Social Security card, then come to our office in person, Social Security office, right? Now, Ashutosh entered the U.S. with a J1 visa, and he has a Social Security number. Well, obviously, without valid employment authorization, it's not activated. Now it's activated because Ashutosh has work permit now, so it's activated. So then his question is whether he need to visit a local Social Security office to get a new one. My answer to you, no, because you only have a one Social Security number. You have one, right? And then you have a valid employment authorization, so you're good to go. You don't need to think about this. So Ashutosh, your next step is for USCIS to schedule interview for you. Almost there. Okay, good. Next one is what is processing time for I-130 for permanent resident when your spouse overseas. So this is not an immediate relative case. It's called family preference case because I-130 petitioner is a permanent resident. And then the family category is called F2A. F2A cases takes from the beginning to the end 4 to 5 years. So, but the question is, how long I-130 takes? Sometimes it may take only 18 months and then wait for next step. Or sometimes literally wait 4 years for I-130 to be approved. But usually the first case, it takes about 18 months and then it's approved. Then you wait for NDC and the next step. Okay, we have very good questions here. Oh, Oscar. Okay. So, Oscar, I-130 approved, and then there is a 45 in inadmissibility issue, misrepresentation, and then he's working on 601. Oscar, call us. We're exceptionally good with 601 misrepresentation waiver. Now, if you receive your 601 request via notice of intent to deny, we call it NOID, you only have 33 days, but looks like you got it in the form of request for evidence, which is 87 days. Call us now. So I talk about this all the time. YouTube allows me to post phone number. There is no restriction, but the TikTok doesn't allow me to do it. So how do you find me? Don't send me a message because I have lots of messages and I'm not able to review all this. So What's the best way, Oscar? You go to my profile, Dr. J, I'm tired, Dr. Jae Francis Immigration, and then you'll see the phone number. Call us, and then Maria is the one that who's going to answer in most cases, or it can be intake specialist. And then the case like this, you probably need a paid consultation with me. Okay, but we're highly successful. Just let us know. Jeff, do you know if USCIS will increase 129F processing times anytime soon? Um, well, I mean, our dear Archida didn't say whether her 129F petition is approved or not. Jeff, I mentioned that she filed hers in November, and then Jeff, 129F 5 to 6 months with a California Service Center. Okay. Okay, so Oscar asked the question here. What can you do if we change you're using Spanish, like a location of your residency? Then, if you change your, address, you need to report that to USCIS. It is important, right? Oh, okay. Okay, so you made an appointment. Okay, so like I said, I have a lots of intake meetings, so sometimes it's kind of hard to remember. But looks like you're using your name, so we'll talk about this. But thank you so much, Oscar, joining from live as well. But I'm looking forward to talk about this soon. Okay, so Raj, right? My wife is U.S. citizen, and I got green card. It's been 2 years this April. When can I file for citizenship? Okay. So the Raj, you got your permanent residency through marriage to U.S. citizen, right? And then USCIS looks like gave you 2-year conditional residency because when they approve your case, you're married less than 2 years, and then it's approaching April. So now, if this is the case, then you need to do 751 petition to remove the condition. But if the USCIS gave you 10-year because you're married more than 2 years when they approve your case, then your next step would be applying for naturalization and 400. So Raj, if you have a 10-year green card now, then you may be eligible to apply for naturalization next year, April 2026, 3 years. So 3 years after you became a permanent resident. It's 3 years, not this year. Almost there. Time flies. Okay, so TikTok comments are great, but sometimes I need to scroll back, and then it can be a little bit messy. Okay, but I think that I caught up. Okay. Okay, so Angel Flower, I passed my medical. Okay, so then you did, and then I'm K1 visa. Okay, so it means that there is no medical exam because, as you know, that whether you have a consular process or adjustment of the status, medical exam is important. So there's no issue for that. Well, congratulations. He's going through the K1. Now, he's asking, like, will he pass his K1 interview? I mean, I don't know your case. We're highly successful. Our case is successful. So, yes, it'll be the case. But I don't know what, can I tell you? I don't know about your case. But I'm gonna talk about 3 important golden rules for any interview, and then Anna, our dear clients, join. So just give me 1 second, okay? I will get back to you. So what are the 3 golden rules for interview or during the interview? It can be consular process. It can be adjustment of the status. I would say number one, relax, because I believe, and I believe this is the case. Your case already decided based upon the paperwork. Attending interview is not taking exam. It's not a college exam. You don't need to ace it. So make sure that you do all the paperwork in advance so that when you go for interview, you relax. Okay. When you relax, then you're able to listen better and talk better. Okay. Number 2, be succinct. Some of you think that I need to impress officer. I need to explain. Listen and then give a short answer. So for example, if your answer is yes or no, like for example, In the case of adjustment of the status, an officer asks, have you ever been arrested or cited anywhere? And then your answer should be yes or no, right? So, and then if you have any criminal records, non-traffic, then officer asks, tell me about this, and then you explain. So number two, succinct. Number three, be honest. Now, be honest means that sometimes you don't remember, and they say, well, sir, I don't remember. Maybe I remember it was 2010, but I don't know when, like month and day, instead of coming up with some answers or speculate. Now, when it comes to marriage green card cases, I noticed recently, under Trump, people are scared and they like to come up with some fancy, like Netflix style of dramatic answers. So, for example, some of you, right? No one proposed. You've been in relationship, living together quite some time, and then you love each other, and then there's no like kneeling down and giving you like a ring or inviting like surprise, like can you marry me? I mean, it's romantic, but not everyone has this. So maybe perhaps your boyfriend, girlfriend, you're sitting on the couch and then say, hey, maybe we should get married. I mean, not even that, or just like, I mean, just it's not really like super romantic, but that's okay. Just be honest, tell the truth. Okay. So that's the long answer to you. Okay. So dear our client Anna. So Anna has a marriage green card case. Okay. Okay. I'm just reviewing that. Okay, I see. Anna, you're asking sort of wishful thinking. So she's asking, is there any adjustment of the status, especially marriage green card cases, being approved without interview? Answer is partially yes. Cases that filed after October of last year with us, all cases being scheduled interview. But leading up to October of last year, then yes, some cases approved without interview and others scheduled for interview. So that's short answer. Okay, short answer. And then your another question is that when do they schedule interview? I'm just a little bit repeating a little bit. Cases we filed January and February, right? Regardless of location, they're being scheduled for interview in April and May. So it's fast. It's fast. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for saying hello. Okay. And then I'm gonna see whether I'm just missing anything, but we're getting good questions here. Okay, Belize, you had your interview today in Chicago. How did it go? I hope that your case was approved. Chicago's nice. Chicago field office super nice, even under Trump. We love it. Milwaukee a little bit challenging, but still good. Let us know, Belize. Okay. Were you interviewed separately or jointly? And then was your interview challenging, or did they approve your I-130 and 45 at the same time, or still you're waiting? So I'm just curious. So tumbleweeds are real. Ask, when filing for I-130 and 45 as a citizen parents, okay, so then I-130 petitioner is a parent. Okay, so then do you need to file 765? Well, I mean, 765 is to get work permit, and then if you don't have a social security, then you get social security with that. I mean, technically, you need to visit social security office, but that's a way to get a, work permit. So, there's additional cost, 260, but it's worth it. So it's a good idea. I hope that I didn't read your question incorrectly. Okay. Rex42. I will say that this is the question of the day. I'll drink the water. Okay. It's not vodka. It's just water. Okay. Okay. So the question of the day, Rex42. Is it better to use attorney agency or do it yourself for K1? Many of you, do K1 pro se. It means that without, attorney. Some of you are successful. I'll be honest. I'm not gonna tell that. If you don't work with attorney, your case will be denied. I mean, yeah, usually, but not all cases. Agency, I don't like agency because they give you some forms and paperwork, and they say, well, good luck. And then if like there's a problem, don't come back to us, and then just like good luck. So I don't like working with agency or notario. Either I recommend that you work with attorney because we take full responsibility, and then if there's any issues, then we'll provide solution for you, right? We're legally, right, taking care of your case, and then being responsible for your case. Uh, and then if you do yourself, then you blame yourself. You don't blame anybody else. But the agents and notario, they're cheaper, but they're not being responsible for the outcome of your case. So I believe that either you work with attorney, right, and then they will give you expert guidance, or you do it yourself. You save money, but you take your full responsibility. So either one. Okay. Okay. Now. Okay. So Oscar. Okay. So um, looks like you got request for evidence and it's due July 18th to respond. Okay. So Oscar, your job is to go to my profile, Dr. Jae Francis Immigration, find the phone number, and then call us tomorrow. Now, when you call us Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 Central Time, right? We're in Chicago, Wisconsin Central Time. Then Maria will talk to you, and then she will do free case evaluation. But probably you need to talk to me, pay consultation. So call us tomorrow between 9 to 4 Central Time, okay? And we would be happy to help you. Ezekiel asked the question, how long, what's the K1 processing time? I say that it was faster. Everything was faster. 2024 under Biden. Some cases faster still, but the K1 is not the case. So K1, I will say it'll take between 8 months and 1 year. 8 months and 1 year now, if you're just starting now. And then Ezekiel, if you need attorney, just let us know. Of course, Oscar, this is one of the, nice way to, see me and then interact with you and then, find a good attorney and then good solution. Okay, good solution. Okay, so TKT, right, from YouTube asked the question here. Okay, so let's see. So then he was on F1 OPT, right? And then when F1 OPT expires, then you're into 60-day grace period. But according to first sentence, looks like he applied for green card 90 days after expiration of F1 OPT. So I'm going to read second. So he got combo card, good for you. So you apply for 765-131. Okay, so you're going overseas with your U.S. citizen spouse. You know what? I'm not like some attorney say that, well, you don't go overseas, period. I mean, sort of. I don't like going overseas for our clients. Why? Because if you stay in the U.S., usually you're safe. But when you go overseas and then come back, you're going through this, immigration review. Now, you say there's like 1 month visa overstay. Will it be problem? According to CBP, if you have any visa overstay in the past and when you go overseas with the advanced parole, then you may encounter problem. But TKT, I'm not your attorney. Don't say that attorney Jae Francis say that it's okay. But your visa overstay is less than 6 months. You're not subject to entry bar. So let's talk about this. If you have between 6 months and 1 year visa overstay, then you're subject to a 3-year bar when you go overseas and come back. So, with the advanced parole, so idea is this. So let's talk about this. So you entered the U.S. with a visa in the past, and then you had visa overstayed more than 1 year, which is 10-year bar, right? So I'm using this example. So you overstay more than 1 year, and you're subject to 10-year bar. Now you got advanced parole, and then you went overseas and then come back. Under Trump, CBP may say that, well, you're subject to 10-year bar. And they say, well, what do you mean? Like, I have advanced parole. And they say, like, I don't care. You had, you overstay your visa, you're subject to 10-year, and then I'm not going to let you in. Can they do that? Absolutely. Is there anything you can do? Not really. So that's why we don't like going overseas. If you are not allowed to enter, then you need to do 601 waiver. 601 waiver. It's not a 601A, 601 waiver. Why is it problem? 601 waiver, right, will overcome 10-year entry bar. It means that you don't need to wait 10 years and apply for immigrant visa. You can ask the government to shorten the wait time. The problem is that 601 consular process takes about 3 years. 3 years. You'll be stuck overseas 3 years. Not worth it. Not worth it. Anyway, thank you so much for joining. Oscar, yes, make sure you call and then we do a consultation. I'm going to wrap it up. When you call us, right, then usually it'll be Maria, Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 Central Time. She's busy. So sometime when you call, she's not able to answer your call right away, but she'll get back to you. If you call outside of Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, right, weekends and then 5 p.m. and all this, then you'll talk to our intake specialist. They will take some information. This is our policy. When you talk to Maria, free case evaluation. When you talk to intake specialist, free intake, information gathering. But when you like to talk to me, then it'll be paid consultation because that's what we do. We charge some reasonable fee for you to talk about your case. Sometimes your case is convoluted, so we like to make sure that we dedicate certain time to figure out what's going on, what would be a good solution. But having said that, thank you so much for joining this live. Thank you so much from tired TikTok, YouTube, and then Instagram, and from Facebook and then LinkedIn. You'll be able to watch this video later, live stream. See me next Thursday, 5 p.m. Time flies, right? But until then, peace be with you.